Today I'm going to be sharing 5 of the most scariest Roblox stories. Buckle up, because these are crazy. Make sure to turn on notifications and like and subscribe for more videos. Hey, my name is Aiden, and I'm 14 years old, and I wanted to share something pretty disturbing that I've experienced. I don't know if it's some paranormal crap, but, read at your own risk. So, it was a Saturday night when I was feeling pretty bored. I don't do much when I'm bored, so I usually call my friends to play something like Call of Duty or something like that. Today, they wanted to play something different. They wanted to play Roblox. Now, I've heard of Roblox before, but I always thought it was for little kids. That's why I never really played it before. But since I've never played Roblox before, I guess I will give it a shot. So then I created an account named JohnnyOldG. I couldn't think of anything better. I was surprised on how good the website looked. I remember thinking, whoa, kids play this. Astonished about how good the website looked like. It encouraged me to play a game even more. So then me and my friends played a game called Apocalypse Rising. When me and my friends joined the game, it seemed fine for a few minutes. But for some reason, there were hackers everywhere. There were flying cars, teleportation, instant killing, and so on. The experience wasn't enjoyable at all. And it was getting late. So then I told my friends that this game was getting annoying, and that I'd leave the call. My friends told me it was cool, so I left. I woke up the following morning and I realized that my mom worked that day, and I was by myself. I thought it would be a good idea to check up on my friends to see how they were doing and probably try playing a different game on Roblox or something else. But they were offline. I tried calling them and they didn't answer. I assumed they were just sleeping because they pull out all-nighters every day. I found myself scrolling through the game page of Roblox, seeing if I should play a game myself. Then I stumbled across the avatar editor. I thought it was super cool. The way you could customize, mix and match body parts, change your face, hair, and skin color. It really reminded me of Legos, which I loved growing up as a kid. I then wanted to change my face but changed my mind because I thought that the default face was okay, and that I should keep it. As I was done customizing my avatar, I clicked Discover, but it redirected me to the Smile Face page. I thought it was kind of weird, but I just assumed it was a glitch. I tried to click Discover again, and it went back to the Smile Face page. Except this time something was off. Really off. It looked like the face's smile became bigger, so I clicked Discover again. It goes back to the Smile Face page, but now with a more disturbing change to the smile face. The smile grew a lot bigger. Its eyes were beginning to look like it was some sort of creature that was staring into my soul. It had the name, Formidable Face. Maybe it was just another glitch. A loud sudden thunder then shook me. I realized that it was thunder storming outside. At that moment, for some reason, I felt fear. There were leaves flying and hitting my window making noises, and the sound of powerful wind outside. I closed my laptop. Soon after, the power went out. It was dark inside my house, as outside had dark clouds and a grey atmosphere. I felt really uncomfortable from where I was sitting on my bed because there was a dark spot in the corner of my large room, which I had thought was a shadow. I started laying down, covering myself with my blanket because I wanted to try and wait, or fall asleep or something. I heard a loud bang coming from my front door. It didn't sound like a gunshot, more of a breaking in type of sound. I got really paranoid. I thought that it couldn't have been my mom, so I quickly reached towards my phone to call 911. But I had no signal. It was quiet for a few minutes. Then I heard noises in the kitchen. The kitchen is right next to the hallway from where my room is at. And the thought of someone breaking into my house is circling through my mind as a panic. These noises sounded like they were cabinet opening and door opening. Almost like someone was in my kitchen looking for something. Or someone. I stayed in my bed, hiding under my blankets. I then heard really loud bangs coming from my door. And a sadistic laugh. I couldn't move. I froze in fear. I thought, this is it. This is really happening. I'm about to get murdered. The banging on my door kept repeating. And each time they sounded like they got stronger and louder. My doors started to crack. I thought that this would be the time to find a good hiding spot. I got out of my bed and I headed towards my closet. I couldn't help but scream, "What the hell do you want from me?" to the thing behind my door. The thing replied, "Your eyeballs." The creature's voice was very horrifying and loud. Then the creature started laughing, like it was making fun of me trying to get away. The force, It was so powerful that my door was beginning to crack open. I tried walking to my closet, but then I started feeling dizzy. Almost every step I took, I was on risk of collapsing onto the floor. As I slowly walked towards my closet, the bangs on my door get louder. He's getting closer. The laughs were getting more constant, almost like it was laughing at me for trying to get away. As soon as I opened my closet door, I stumbled down and passed out. I remember having a slight dream though. I was running down an endless void, while trying to get away from the loud bangs that thing was making. Halfway through the dream, it cuts to pitch black and silence. I then see my friends with carved out faces and blood was everywhere. Then, it cuts into an image of the formidable face. It stares at me with its smile. I woke up on my bed, feeling pretty sick. I can hear my mum walking into my bedroom, and she opened the door. It was really strange because the door wasn't damaged like before. She then told me that dinner was ready, and that she will be waiting for me at the table. I told her I was feeling sick. She said all right and left. I was laying there in pure silence. It all felt so real. I didn't know what to believe. Was it a dream or not? After this whole incident happened, I decided to delete Roblox. I just didn't feel like playing after what happened. It's just weird. Another thing that's weird is that a few days passed by, and I haven't heard anything about my friends. They're missing my calls, my texts, and I barely see them in real life as well. I'm starting to think that they don't want to be my friends anymore. Or maybe something happened to them. After some time, I kept hearing noises under my bed. So I went to look under it and found a little black square that was emitting some low beeping sounds. I'm not sure if it was of plastic or metal, but I didn't pay attention to it. When my mum returned home, I showed her the little black square and she looked very worried. She told me that she was pretty sure it was a tracker, so she just broke it and threw it away. I had joined my friend Kyle in a game called Be Scared. Before I had joined, Kyle had said on call, "This is a scary game, I guess." I like scary things myself, anything scary, so when I joined I explored. Kyle had found me in the game and said, "This is an empty game to be scary." I had said, "Yeah, normally the games like this are filled with a bunch of noobs," cause it was one of those type of scary elevator games. But this one was kind of different. It had a spot in the game that we thought was really creepy. It was a random spot in the game that wasn't in the elevator. It was a creepy white room with one chair in the middle of the room. Kyle had seen the room and said, "Why is this here? It's not even in the elevator." I had replied with, "I don't know. Maybe it's just a glitch." He replied back and said, "Yeah, maybe." Then when we were going to walk out of the room, the door we had walked in was gone. We looked around and when we went to the chair, someone had appeared. We walked closer to the person and asked where the door is and how he got in. He didn't reply, so we just kept asking him. He has finally replied and said, ... there is no door, ... You are stuck with me now. We had got creeped out by what he had said then. A creepy smiley face popped up on his face. Emmy and Kyle had gotten creeped out, then the light has went out. When the light turned back on me, and Kyle saw a bunch of creepy people with smiley faces, we thought it was a part of the game until we got teleported to a different game when we tried to leave. The same people were there when we joined. The game was like a starter game called Has 3 L's Place. When we had joined after a couple minutes, a girl named Has 3L joined, and when me and Kyle saw her we found out it was the creator. I had asked her to help us because me and Kyle still couldn't leave. She turned around and said, "There's no way you're leaving me again." Me and Kyle were creeped out, but at the same time our computers turned off. I was still on call with Kyle. We both got creeped out and put it on the charger, but it still didn't work. Till that day I have never heard or seen of him again. There used to be this pretty popular war group called the Undefined Army, or whatever that means. I used to be part of this group and it was really fun. Until they made this game called The Breakout. I joined it because I thought it would be an interesting roleplay game. Boy, was I wrong. First of all, it was clearly a rip-off of SCP, with all the monsters and the entities. But I didn't really think much about it because people copy already popular games all the time. Moving on to what was going in the game. There was a group of people getting ready to be tested on, kinda like the Class D in SCP, until a random loud and annoying alarm went off. Subject 834 and other people have escaped. Report to the main decks. I was really confused now. What the heck is the main deck? Anyways, the guards were saying to stay back and not to move. I looked over and saw another person that looked pale. I heard coughing sound effects. He was clearly sick. The guard proceeded to take him into another room. Never to be seen again. Subject 984 has been infected with virus 983. What I think was going on was that this war group was testing diseases, so they can affect enemies with those viruses and get them sick and they would die. A weird battle plan, but all right. You, come over here, a random guard said. They took me into a room and proceeded to ask questions about my health. They went out to get something, and they brought a cart of tubes full of viruses. I was too freaked out to continue, so I just left the game, and then decided to leave the war group. As far as I know, their group got closed for good because of that game. So that's why I don't join war groups anymore. There is a secret group in Roblox called the Unlisted. These users committed crimes, so Roblox had to unlist them from the site. When the exploiting community heard about this rumor, they went crazy trying to find some truth to this. But they ended up finding one account. They couldn't access their games, which is obvious. But one of the hackers in the group got weird messages from the user. Everyone in the group was weirded out and thought he was just playing a trick on them, until they started to get the weird messages too, but from a different account. That account was unlisted, but if you're wondering what the messages were, well, most of them just said, "We didn't do anything," or "Help us." The group of hackers ended up abandoning the hunt for unlisted accounts after that. Roblox was notified about the hackers and they're now IP banned for accessing a secret company. But one of their accounts seems to be gone forever. It's like they got unlisted from the website. There was an old Roblox game called Happy. When you join the game, you will see decals on the wall of people creepily smiling. In some areas, you can see the words that said, "Sad people must die." The sad people looked scared more than sad. No one knew what the game's intentions were. Some people overreacted and thought that this was a hacking group, but they were very wrong. Happy was much bigger than we thought, because Happy was a test account, made by Roblox staff. So, when players joined the game, they wouldn't feel alone, kind of like John Doe and Jane Doe. Then happiness fell into obscurity, never to be remembered until a Roblox admin logged into Happy, made the game happy. Roblox found out that he made the game and fired him. But what people didn't know was that there were 2 Happy accounts named Happy. So no one knows which one is the real Happy, and which one made the original game. At the end, Happy is definitely not a test account anymore. It's a virus on Roblox ready to take over.